and welcome to episode 31 of Ripping the Rack podcast. This is take two. The first take we tried, I don't know how far we got in, 5-10 minutes. I don't know. Tim screwed up the board, and all of a sudden we lost the recording. So,
well, it happens.
screw
Hi,
it.
everybody. It's Brian. I'm still here.
It is, and we have a special guest. Our special guest this week is Mr. Jeff Surratt. Jeff lives in the wonderful state of Massachusetts. We won't say where because his many adoring fans will flock to the house, and I'm
They'll
sure
mob him for autographs. And
Yeah,
you can't have
and-
that.
I mean they're already going to do that for Tommy. So
Yeah.
you know. So anyway, take two. We have no questions, so we're not even going to do a question and answer segment because we don't have any. As usual, for those that do want questions answered, you can send them to us at rippingtherackpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook at Ripping the Rack Podcast, YouTube at Ripping the Rack Podcast, and Brian, where else can you find us?
Anchor, Breaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, anywhere else you listen to your podcast selections.
Nice. So we're gonna have a great conversation with Jeff. That's gonna record the whole thing this time. Yep, this time it's gonna record the whole thing.
So, Tim, hop back into your questions. We'll just start right from there.
Yeah, we'll just Brian. I know Brian had one at the beginning. I would like to. That's actually a really good question. So I'm gonna have you start with that one, and then we'll go in. And Jeff.
The one about when did Jeff know he was really good?
Yeah.
So I had asked before the technical difficulties we had. When do you just walk into a bowling alley and know that you're, 3 to 4 pins better than most everybody else in there? If not way more.
Like I said the first time, which I'll try and repeat myself. Thanks, Tim.
Well, I didn't like it, so I figured we'd do it over again.
No, from an early age, my dad really kept me in check, and I think I won a youth tournament when I was like 6 years old, and he just said, I don't know, I guess you could see from an early age that I had a little bit of talent, but I also bowled all the time. So,
when did you throw your first bowling ball? Do you remember?
I was like a year old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colin was about what, Tim? Colin was maybe
about that.
1. Yeah.
Yeah, about that. And
I'm trying to make him better than me, which isn't hard, but.
And it was no different than with me. I mean, I grew up in a bowling alley. My mother started taking me down to the bowling alley, when I was 6 months old, because she bowled leagues. So I literally grew up in a bowling alley. I sucked. I sucked as a kid. I'll be honest. I never broke 100 average until I was 17 years old.
Wow.
So
late bloomer. You're just a late bloomer, Sam.
And no, some of that was the house I bowled in too. They did the plates once every 5 years. Deep gutters and everything else. When your number one average for the men at the time was 112. So, and that was Matt Rich and Walter Reed, and both of those guys had won pro tours and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, my father worked every Saturday at Candlewood Lanes, North Reading, where I grew up, as an extra job on a Saturday. So I would bowl every Saturday for 8 hours as a kid.
Yeah.
And that, for anyone who has bowled there, was a very difficult house, and that clearly had an impact because pinning wise, shooting spares, that just improved my game dramatically. Yeah.
So. We asked, and I'll ask you this. I never really knew your father. He got done bowling really before I started bowling in the tournaments down in Massachusetts and stuff like that. But he was really good. Like, did you? Is that kind of what your path was? Like, you started bowling, you were like, you know what, I want to beat the old man. Was that your goal? Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, growing up, he was on Channel 5 in Nesson, along with my uncle, and just getting to see them on TV, whenever they were on, it was phenomenal. You know, we had the VHS tapes that I would play over and over again, and of course, I just wanted to be like him.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you beat him?
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I think we did a men's league when I was like 15. They let me in the, and so I had a good 4 years with them. But yeah, I think it was that year. So 15 or so.
Yeah. The only reason I ask is, so Russ Mealy bought the bowling alley that I bowled at when I think I was like 16, something like that. And he started working with me when I was, 16, 17, because I was down there quite a bit, and I was bowling, and, I would go to the tournaments with my mother, because my mother was she was a tournament bowler. And so I'd go to the tournaments with her, and if they needed a pacer, I'd bowl, because it was free, and I'd get 10 strings, and I'd bowl with the pros. I still remember the first time I beat Russ, because he had told me, he was like, anytime you want to practice, you could practice for free, but you got to bowl with me. You got to come down and bowl against me. And I don't know how long it was. It was a while that I got my ass kicked every week, several times a week, and then I beat him one day. And, he paid me like $5. He gave me because we bowled like $1 a string or something like that, just something to put a little something on it. And I remember he paid me out. He never said a word to me about it. Never was like, congratulations, nothing. It was like, he just paid me the money and said, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm like, I'm not even getting hey, good job. Nothing. It's just like, nope, see you tomorrow.
You'll get nothing and like it, Spalding.
Nothing and like it. So I just was curious with your dad, because I know how good he was. Obviously, he's in the Hall of Fame for a reason. Obviously, is your uncle in the Hall of Fame too?
No.
No? Okay.
Nope. I think he has the records kept that would actually get him in, if he had a shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people really never thought about keeping their stats and records and all that stuff. And now there's no way to track it down, really.
Yeah. Do you have yours?
I keep a little book of stuff I've done, yeah.
Yeah. That way, when you turn 50, because look, let's face it. I think if we're being honest, when we look at Hall of Fame and stuff like that, I mean, I'll probably, I won't be the first one to say this, that when someone says Jeff Surratt's going to be in the Hall of Fame. So it'll be cool to have you in there with your dad.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to hear.
Yeah.
I've heard it a couple times, and it's pretty awesome to hear from people.
Yeah. Brian, what other questions you got?
What's the most fun match you bowled in? Like, it was just everyone bowled good, and it was fun, and it was competitive. And do you remember it, or is it something like that you just take in stride and you're like, this was really good, like this is a good way to have a good bowling match? Or
there's definitely been a lot. One a couple years ago, bowling Calvin's team.
Kingswood, in Moncton,
2025 to like 2017, and we split. It was insane. Got to be the highest scoring match I've ever been a part of.
Man, you both bowl over 2,000 and split. That's got to seem like, you look at, like, not many teams even hit 2,000 in a league. I know I've seen maybe a handful of them, and that's kind of I think that's the number. Like, you're always shooting for in a 5-man team. Is that the way you guys kind of look at it at Lucky, or do you guys just follow be one pin better than whoever you're bowling?
Yeah, I mean, a win's a win in my book. When we're relaxed and just throwing the ball, having fun, we like to bust balls a lot. At least I do, anyways.
Yeah.
They probably don't like it because I do it a lot, but
I bowl with Tim, so I'm used to getting my nads stepped on a lot.
When you're loose and you're having fun, you don't even realize what you're doing, and you look up and you're at 675, 700 for the string, and it flows.
Yeah.
We need more of that. Do you ever get there again?
Yeah. I see. I remember there is one match I do remember at the Worlds, and this was 2000. It was a while ago. It was like 2003, I think. It was in Halifax, and it was when I was with Maine Heat. We weren't USA East yet, and I think we were still Maine Heat. I don't remember. Well, it might have been.
It was my first Worlds, I'm pretty sure, in 05. I think it was 05.
Maybe it was 05.
Because it was you and Sarge and Dickie O that year.
I guess we were USA East then.
You were still main heat. That was the last main heat year.
I don't know. All I remember is we went 2070, and McLaughlin Truck and Trailer went 2010, 2020, and they lost all 8. We took all 8 with that, and it's just, that's one of those matches where it didn't matter the shot that was up there. You were looking at it like, we're just going to make it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It really is. I love watching good bowling. I really do. And the older I get, the more I love watching good bowling. That's why I watch like you guys. Not for you, because you suck, but like when Godwin's bowling and stuff like that. So,
thanks.
Well, I mean, he still has a hair across his butt for Davey because of what Davey did in the Mixed Worlds there a couple years ago.
You mean last year?
Well, it's a couple of years ago because last year we didn't have a Mixed Worlds.
Well, technically last year was 2019. It was 2019.
We don't count 2020, Tim. We don't count this year. This year's a wash. It goes away.
Look, I said it. It's one of the most clutch performances I've ever seen when someone's down 17 with 2 boxes to go, goes strike, spare, strike, spare, makes up a 17-pin lead, wins $10,000 for the team. That's pretty fucking clutch, if you ask me.
That's
Definitely.
We won't talk about his one fill in Moncton, though.
It wasn't a one fill. It was the 3 horsemen. It was 3 of the 4 horsemen down the left, and he plucked the 7-pin. He only needed 2. I know because I was on the other side of that.
Oh, I thought it was a one fill.
No, it was the 3 down the line on the left for the bye and tunk.
Oh.
Sorry,
Hey, it happened.
It does.
But what I was impressed about you guys with that, though, you guys just put your shit in your bag. Like, all right, where are we bowling next? We didn't get to buy. Where are we going? Like, you didn't dwell on it. I mean, Davey did, but how do you not?
Anyone who's bowled the 5th spot it's a lot of pressure. And, anyone who is capable of being there puts a lot of it on themselves. And me, for one, I know Davey takes it to heart. And I mean, it's hard not to, really, but it's a team effort. If it comes down to the last spot, it's on everybody.
Yep.
So I gotta ask, Jeff, because we've laughed about this before. What the hell is up with you when you get into the finals?
It's hard to say, man.
Like you'll go 400 all through the playoffs, and then all of a sudden the finals hit.
It's so different because, like, the environment is so different once you hit the playoffs. It's like you're bowling next to people all week long. You're waiting for people, go ahead, I'll take my time and whatnot. And I don't know, it's just hard to adjust sometimes. And unfortunately, it's been a couple of years now, maybe more than that. But we're going to switch that soon, I hope.
Well, I only bring that up because we talked about that a little bit when we played golf at that tournament this fall. Because look, I've been there. I've had amazing runs in the playoffs. You go 400, 420, 430, and then all of a sudden you hit the finals and you go 350, and you're like, what the hell just happened? I felt like I was throwing the same ball. Everything felt right. All of a sudden, the score just wasn't there. So.
Yeah, I mean, the finals where we bowled you guys in 08, like the 2 matches on Saturday went 4-10, 4-10. And since that, it's been, non-existent, really.
Yeah. Does that bye, I've always wondered this, because you've had the bye quite a bit. Is it harder to come in cold at 10:30 on a Saturday instead of bowling that first match?
I think so.
I thought it was. Like,
and you're hopping into a match at whatever it is, 12 o'clock, and you're bowling a team that's already warmed up. They're 3 in. Their intensity is already up.
They might have gone 2,000 that match too, and now you're running into a buzzsaw.
Yeah, I mean the first say the first two to four boxes, you know, when you're just trying to get comfortable, that's huge. You could be down 50 pins right off the bat, and then you're grinding the whole rest of the match.
Yeah, we had Fenway Painters one year, and I think it was 09. No, it was 07 in Halifax. They opened up 13 in a row against us. Just
that hurts.
All first 5 guys all marked out, and then like the next 2, it's like holy shit! Like we're down 65 pins in 12 boxes. Like how the hell do you come back?
Yeah,
take it a box at a time at that point. I mean,
no, really.
Or at that point, are you just like, all right, keep total close, like dig and claw, but.
Well, see, and I've been on both ends. You know, when we won in 2001, we had to go through the gauntlet. You know, we were the 3 seed and had to, you know, we bowled Friday afternoon, then we bowled Saturday morning, then you bowl Saturday at noon, and now you're in the finals at 3:00. And I've obviously, when we were part of USA East, won the bye several times. Selfishly, I love the bye because that's 6 strings I don't have to bowl.
Sleep in.
I can sleep in. I get to relax, and then I can come in at 10:30 and take my time warming up versus getting there at 8:30 and I've got 20 minutes to warm up type thing. But I don't know. It's I guess if you keep winning, it doesn't really matter.
That's true. I mean,
yes.
Like Jeff said, a win's a win. You win one match by 1, you come out, you win the next match by 100. It's still 2 wins.
Yeah.
Jeff, who do you just cringe every time you see on the opposite side of the lane of you? Just like, oh, I didn't want to have to work this hard.
like anybody just bowling against them?
Yeah, just like, or it's like in a match and you're just like, why? Like in the knockout. Let's say you get seeded in the knockout and you're just like, why did I have to get him first? I remember there was a year you and Morrison drew in the first round, and that was kind of fun to watch. I mean, you beat him, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would say I don't really fear anybody just because. I mean,
I guess I don't mean fear. I guess it's just like, man, I did not want to have to work this hard this early in this knockout. Like when you draw like a Morrison, or I mean, everybody at that point deserves to be there, I guess. I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody, but it's one of those things like, I know this is because we have both scratch and handicap eliminations in Maine for your all events at the end of the season. And I know right now, I would be, close to the top in the handicap, but Tim would be one of the bottom seeds in the handicap, and I would have to bowl Tim in the first round. And that's just not something I want to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I would have to bowl him in a handicap tournament.
But I got to give you 20 something pins of string.
You got to give me 23 pins of string.
That's why I typically don't bowl handicap tournaments.
230 pins overall.
Yeah, I mean, I don't typically do the knockout every year. I just kind of pick and choose. I think it takes way too much out of you for the week. But that is one thing I haven't won, which I really, not that it would mean a lot, but I'd really like to win it. I mean, just to say I've won it, but it's so hard. You have to bowl well, but you really need a lot of luck to get through those 1-game matches. You know what I mean? It takes a lot. There was one year where I had Steve Vadnais up the first round through 180, and you're like, oh great, I just wasted a huge game. Winning by not a lot, but you know what I mean? It's not wasted pins, but so the next round I draw Mike Morgan, I throw 150 and he throws 180. So I got 330 and I'm walking out the door.
Wow. Here's your kick in the nuts. Here's we'll take your $100. You have a good day. See you tomorrow.
Every string is such a grind. And this past year, I ran into Harnett right out of the chute, and it's just a tough tournament to win.
Yeah.
It does.
The year in Freddie where we had like 3 first rounds. That was tough too. I mean,
it is tough. I mean, look, I tend to bowl the singles, and I tend to use it as a warm up for the week.
And I always try and talk you out of it because your knees hurt come Thursday.
I know, but it's still.
I typically room with Tim when we bowl on the same team, so I have to hear him be like, "Oh, I hurt. Oh, well, I'm tired. Oh, I'm old."
That is everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me, it's usually, Wednesday night going to bed, and then when I wake up Thursday, it's like you roll over. It's like, oh, my arm is still in the bed beside me. That's wonderful.
I bowled the Friday night league, and that's it, minus the Pro Series. And it's I'm doing a month worth of bowling in a day, and then we're doing it for 5 days in a row, 6 days in a row. God.
Yeah.
It's but you're right though, Jeff. Is it's a grind. You qualify, and then you get in, and okay, it's a one string. And I don't know how many times I've lost in the first or second round by throwing a 130 or 140.
Yeah.
And you walk out the building going, well, shit, I just went, I went 2 rounds and I just went, 280, 300, and I'm losing. And then the guy winning averages 112 for the tournament.
That happens every year.
Yeah. Yep. People bowling next year, you just bowl a 140 and you lose. People bowling next year, the guy wins with a 97.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's
the same way in the Can-Am, that tournament we bowl in. Like, it's not always. I mean, one year it was Casey Lapierre and Mark Rickey, and they lost in the first round of the cash spiel. And it's like, I guess you just got to catch people at the right time. I mean, that's kind of all what bowling is just catching somebody at the right time or bowling good when you need to.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeff, I got a question for you. What's we talked a little bit about memories before. Let's call it technical difficulties.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, before technical difficulties. What's your some of your favorite memories? Doesn't have to be match. Doesn't have to be, just kind of your favorite memories from bowling.
Yeah, the world's just at the hotel hanging with the guys.
Bowling in the hallway.
Oh my God. Some of the things that we've seen done, it's just guys being guys, and it's such a fun week to get away. You guys probably remember all the fantasy bets that were done a couple of years ago, and just acting stupid for, getting away from the real world for a little while. That's the stuff you remember the most, I would say. Not even the matches, just in the hotel hanging with the guys, stupid talks and bodily noises that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Guy shit. Yeah, it's guy shit.
And then eventually the wives show up and we have to behave for a little bit.
Not me. No.
No?
No. I'm the same.
Okay. My wife Kelly she's very quiet until you get to know her. Like, one night we were playing Cards Against Humanity in the hotel room in the Worlds and drinking, and she dropped something and she just lets out the C-bomb, and Angie just kind of looks like, did Kelly just say that? But she's one of these people, like, she wants me to be a little reserved when I'm around her. So I do have to shape up a little bit when she shows up to the Worlds, but
understandably.
I'm pretty much the same.
Well, Angie doesn't come to the bowling alley and see the stuff you do. Like,
well, yeah, happy to get away time from Tim.
Wow. I see how it is. All right.
Get brownie points if you get the power back on.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Can you go out and fix it? Like, you want me to come over with my tools? I mean, it's not doing a great job on your car, but
we can go climb a pole.
Yeah.
Go fix the damn power.
Hey, Tim, I know you wanted to talk about good young bowlers. Jeff, who do you think right now is good young bowlers in the Massachusetts area? It can be like just starting into the Friday Night Pro League, guys that you've seen come up when they were 16, 17, and now they're getting into the adult tournaments.
Let's say let's put an age on this, because what do we consider young? So let's say let's go 25 and under.
I keep forgetting I'm not a young bowler anymore, and it makes me sad.
Wait, no, Booch was like 49.
No, actually 49. I actually think he's still 16.
He sounds like Seth MacFarlane. Like, whenever he talks, all I hear is Family Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Peter.
How old is Boudreaux's? What, 24? 25?
No, I would say 24.
Okay.
Hopefully he's feeling better with the COVIDs. It's going around crazy down there. So everybody that has it, hope they feel better. And Jeff, stay safe down there.
No, not going to catch me in a bowling alley.
Except to win in the Pro Series when you haven't thrown a ball in 8 months.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, like Tim says, you wake up in the morning, you piss excellence, you win a tournament, you go home. You put them back up until probably fall of next year, right?
That was crazy. I still can't believe that.
You're not the only one. I sat back and I'm like, the dude hasn't picked up a fucking bowling ball in 8 months. I'm like, seriously?
Yeah, I was talking to Barbara the day before. He's like, I'm going to go out and throw some. You want to come? I'm like, dude, I'm not going to waste any good balls that my mic.
Jesus.
Plus, I said I'd be too sore the next day if I went the day before. And I was I was sore for about 4 days after that.
Yeah, I know. I sent you a message asking you.
Oh my God, that was terrible.
Yeah. So who else do we have that's young? I mean, in that 25, call it the 20 to 25 range. I've been trying to, it's worse for me the older I get. I'm going to be 50 this year. And so I can never tell how old people are. I just don't even.
I'm with you. I really am.
So I don't even know, obviously Daly, Josh Daly, I know he's what, 21, just turned 21.
Yep.
McGinty's 21.
Yep.
How old is Freshie? Oh, no, Freshie's got to be late 20s, isn't he?
I would say mid.
Mid?
I don't know.
Okay. I bowl with him. You'd think I'd know, but I have no idea. I'm the old guy on our team anyway, so it's kind of
Gramps.
Yeah,
it's Gramps.
Now they need someone to, be a little bit on the older side to get them into, hotels and restaurants and stuff.
Yeah, to reel them in.
Yeah.
Your discount.
Yeah. Well, I hope I do get my AARP starting next August, so I'm pretty excited about these senior discounts.
You're gonna be able to get 50 cents off your coffee at Dunkin' now.
I know Jeff's gonna have to give me pins now.
Oh, you're always gonna give me pins.
No, but you know what Tim will do? He's gonna take full advantage on the golf court and hit from the forward tees. He's gonna.
Yeah, he doesn't need to.
No, the little shit won the driving contest. The member guest he played with me. He hadn't hit one straight all day, and all of a sudden he decides to cut the corner with the power lines in it and hits it just beautifully right in the middle of the fairway.
I don't know.
En route to shoot, 85?
I had a bad day. I will say, though, after playing golf with Jeff, we have a very similar style of game. I think Jeff and I have very similar styles.
So Jeff hits 5 good shots and then blows up for 3 holes?
No, meaning we're both going to go out and shoot somewhere between 78 and 82.
Oh, I'm not saying you won't shoot that, but you're going to have 3 or 4 blow-up holes in a row doing it.
Well, the difference is our blow-up holes are bogeys.
Bogeys.
Yeah, my blow-up hole's a snowman.
Right. On a par 3. It's okay.
No, you can't get more than 6. Double par.
I beg to differ. Tiger got a 10.
That's Tiger. Like, I'm not even as good as Tiger's pinky toe. Like,
so being realistic with golf, though, is truly if you're playing a tournament, there is no
right, exactly.
There's no set defined on what you can or can't get versus going out and playing with your friends and playing for handicap, putting your handicap in your cards and things like that. Like I can't, because of my handicap, I can't put down anything more than a double bogey. Double bogey is the most that I can get on a hole. Which is great because I've played a few rounds where I'm like, oh, sweet. All right. I got a 6. I'm just going to pick up.
I'm in my pocket.
Been there, done that. So how about women, Jeff? I don't know down that way. Younger, really good young women bowlers that are coming up through. I don't see enough. So I don't know.
Maddie's excellent.
Well, okay, I should, yes. okay, preferences, not Maddie. Like the only time I get to bowl with the women, things like that, are like the mixed worlds. They don't do anything with the Pro Series. It's mixed, do they?
They used to have a women's Pro Series where they had a mixed doubles and then like a Rose Between Two Thorns tournament, where you'd have two guys and then you'd have the Pro Series woman in the middle.
So,
but I don't even think they have the women's Pro Series anymore. Obviously, not this year. Nothing's happening this year, but I don't know if they've had it the last couple years.
Mario's daughter Sage is going to be pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, she is.
And Sonya. I forgot Sonya.
Yep.
They're both really good.
Yep.
Sage is funny because I've bowled against her twice in a tournament in Augusta. They come up to bowl at 1-7-10, and Mike's had a couple of tournaments up there, and it's funny because I think Sage might weigh like 42 pounds, maybe. And I sat back and I was like, God, I'm pretty sure my right leg weighs more than her. She's.
But it just goes to show you don't have to be a big person to bowl.
No.
You don't have to be strong. You don't have to. I mean, there are 70-year-old like Phil Clough. What's Phil average now? I mean, Phil's timeless, and he's probably still averages 118. Like it's just these guys that just they refuse to get Colebrook. Craig is a great example of that. Craig he's not what he was, but he's still a pitching machine.
He's terrible.
Like I don't know if I see the man.
God, the guy's got to retire. He's awful.
Wow! Don't hold back to him. Tell us how you feel.
The GOAT.
I'm just kidding. I love Craig. So
he very well may be the GOAT.
I told him that for years, and the amount of stuff that he has won, and just throughout the years, and his longevity, that's for me. He's number one.
And how does he not have a 200?
Isn't that unbelievable?
It boggles my mind. It's like
is there a nicer guy? Is there a nicer guy besides maybe Bobby?
Bobby Witt, and they're best friends.
Seriously, Craig is one of those guys. I will admit he is my kryptonite. I have bowled against him. I don't know how many times in the Worlds, in the finals, in the semifinals, and we've had fantastic matches every time. And every time I'm shaking his hand, congratulating him, saying, "Hey, good luck in the next round," as I'm packing my stuff and going home. Craig Holbrook to me is he's arguably the best left-handed bowler of all time. I have him as number one if you looked at it, left-handed bowlers. And he's definitely probably top 3 of all time that I've had the pleasure of either bowling against or watching bowl. You could argue Tommy Olsta, obviously. You could argue, Craig. You could argue Charlie Milan. There's guys that you can argue about it, but I can't see anyone being, for the length of time that he's done it, and at 59 years old, still doing it at his level.
Yeah.
I mean, it boggles my mind at just how good he really is.
I don't know if people might not know that, but Friday Worlds, he'll warm up for like a few boxes. That's it, and he's ready to go. I need like a half an hour at like minimum. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's fun, and he's another one. Like there are guys now. As I get older, look, I still love to compete, and I still want to win, and I still have that drive to be the best. But as I get older, I tend to love to watch bowling more.
Mm-hmm.
And Craig is one of those guys that I will instantly just watch. Because I want to be there when he throws that 200 string. Because he might just pick up his bowling balls and just call it a career.
He might retire and be like, all right, I'm done. If it was the last match of a tournament, the last string, he might just be like, well, that was fun.
No, he'd keep going.
No,
he'd want to throw 2.
Yeah, it boggles. How many 200s you have, Jeff?
I threw one in practice and then one in the Friday night league.
Oh, so you're okay.
And you have what, a 190 something at the Worlds? A couple of years ago in Moncton, was it?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
My high is 188, and I had to throw a 4-bagger to do it. So, but that was a fun night. I bowled 425 on 6 alleys in Bangor. We bowled the first string, lanes broke. We bowled the second string, lanes broke. We went and bowled the third string.
Bangor.
Hey, it is rain delay during the Worlds.
Oof.
God. What's your favorite house, Jeff?
Ooh. I would say Lita Lanes.
Really?
Yeah, I'm very comfortable there. As far, TV show used to be there. Easter, Pro Tour.
You've thrown a lot of strings in Lita.
That's at that house.
I like Lita. I wish that they would fix it just a little. Just a little.
I mean, I had no problem with Lita. I bowled there in the Mixed Worlds that year. I just think the scoring is stupid. The 3 buttons.
I'll never be a fan of the fully automatic scoring anywhere.
Yeah.
But, I mean, not to single them out. There's a lot of houses right that could do some improvements, but obviously with what's going on, understandably,
Oh, I don't question.
Right.
I'm not saying that. How do I word that?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because personally, I like bowling at Lita. I'm comfortable at Lita.
Yeah.
I'd love to see I think the Worlds at Lita would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Have one division on one side, division on the others. I mean, that would be.
Yeah, and they would really do a good job with it too.
Good food. There's plenty of parking, plenty of room.
Mm-hmm. Hotels.
Plenty of stuff to do around the bowling alley.
Plenty of hotels. I mean,
you got that whole. If you go the back way, my wife and I stayed in Nashville one year when we went to Merrimack for the outlets for our anniversary, and I was like, I feel like I'm close to Lita, and we come out of this little access road to this industrial park where our hotel was, and I'm like, there it is. I knew I was close.
I just think the only they had. I think to host the Worlds, there's a couple of things they'd have to do. Number one, you got to make that pinfall just a little more consistent. So I don't know if it's pins. I don't know if it's sidewalls. I don't know because I don't know the alley well enough to know what it is. And then I see. I'm okay with going paper and pen for the Worlds and having it at Lita.
I mean, I have done paper and pencil scoring most of my entire life. Oakland Park does not have any type of even remotely semi-automatic scoring.
I think there's ways around that. Just get a dry erase board with an easel and have it so everyone can see it.
Yeah.
There's different ways to do it, and it's possible.
I think it'd be cool. I think Lita would be cool. Let me ask you this, Jeff, because I asked Calvin this question. I'm going to ask you because you've been around the world for a long time, like I have, and there were times where there was a waiting list to get teams into the Worlds. We are running out of bowling alleys that can host the Worlds.
We certainly are.
What do you think about dropping it down to 20 teams, opening it up to many more bowling alleys, and maybe increasing the entry fee just a little bit so you could still guarantee $10,000 to the winning team?
Okay.
I think you're on board.
I mean, would you be on board with that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Canadians having a hard time, fielding the teams to come to the U.S. because of the, the exchange rate and all that stuff.
It's only going to get worse because of this going on right now.
But you drop 4 teams, you're making other teams better. So you're going to have more competition, better competition for 20 teams than 24, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would.
And we know one of those teams every year is a throw together team. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I can't think. I mean, I remember we had a bye one year, and I thought that was a little embarrassing. I was like, we have a bye in the Worlds. Oh.
Yep. And they've done that. I mean, I'm a product of a team that Charlie had to put together 2 weeks before the Worlds. My first Worlds in '92, they put this team together of myself, Owen Martin, Phil Roy, Matt Rich, Wayne Hand, Steve Jameson, put us together 2 weeks before the Worlds, and we almost made the playoffs. We came in fifth, and back then top three made the playoffs. But I think we're at a time with bowling that I think we need to contract and do 20 teams.
I think if you go to 20, you have to go top three. I don't know if you go top five. I think you go back to top three.
I don't know.
20, that's half the teams in the division making the playoffs. I mean, which is great from a bowling standpoint. Okay. I don't mind, that many extra spots to get in, but I don't know.
I don't know. What do you think?
My thought.
I wouldn't bother me either way.
Mm.
I mean, playoff matches are exciting to watch, so.
Yeah.
I'd keep it at 5. Half your people get in, half you don't.
As we know.
And then go ahead.
The luck of the draw is huge.
Yep.
There have been years where one side is just, I hate to say it, but just way better than the other side. And
blood division.
And
2009 up in Halifax, you had out of the 10 playoff teams from the year before, 8 of them were in one division.
Yeah. Were you on the team, like, you didn't make the playoffs, right? Was that you?
No, that was my first year with John, Total Chaos. That's when I got sick.
09 was our first year together. No, 09, you're right. 09 is when you got swine flu rooming with me.
I got swine flu and missed. I bowled Tuesday.
Missed Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
And the playoffs.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Healthcare's not free in Canada. Tim found out.
It's free for Canadians, but it's not free for us dirty Americans.
Dirty Americans.
So we've got a couple of minutes left before we end this. Jeff, how about what's your take on the state of the game right now with Candlepin Bowling from what you've seen?
Well, I think we all know that answer. I mean, it's tough. I don't know, especially with this COVID nonsense going on. Let's just hope no more close. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I've been. I get
Colonial just closed, right? In Worcester. We stopped on our way. We were bowling the Fun Time Holyoke double elimination team tournament. And, of course, I was riding with DJ Trask. Scary enough. We go down the night before. He wants to stay at Foxwoods. And we stop at Colonial to bowl King of the Hill. And we come out, and it's a whiteout. So we drove the rest of the way from there to Foxwoods in a whiteout with DJ. Yeah. It was as fun as you thought it was.
That's your thought right there.
Yeah. That place was tough. That was a hard house. I thought, at least. Everything's hard for me, though.
So, Jeff, who's your
we go.
Yeah, who's your favorite? This is going to be the toughest question you get right here.
Right.
Okay. Who is your favorite Maine bowler that has a name that rhymes with Gim Didero?
Oh, I think we're losing connection.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta go. Sorry.
Oh God, Jeff, I really appreciate you coming on.
Yes, thanks, Jeff. Thanks for coming on with us.
It's a lot. It's a lot of fun. You know how much you know how much I get along with you. So
have me. This is great.
No, we appreciate it. Tell my favorite strat I said hi, Kristen. That is.
Oh, you
and,
no. I thought you meant Tom.
I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna be watching Tommy probably in another. What? How old is Tommy? 11.
11, yeah.
Yeah. So
he'll qualify for the U.S. Open in golf. What? Another couple of years?
Between golf and hockey, I don't know. Watching him, oh my God, I got to be honest with you. The other day when you were snapping him, when he was on the, I don't know what he was on, like that skateboard type thing, hoverboard,
ripstick,
whatever it was, and he's in the house with the hockey stick, and Kristen's trying to do, was she like doing the hair, your daughter's hair or something?
Something, yeah.
And Tommy's just going by with a stick and dropping this up, and Kristen's ducking, and
Always.
And all I can hear is you laughing. I mean, that's funny.
Chaos. I mean, you definitely got to have some fun, and that kid, well, unfortunately, he's just like me and has a really awful sense of humor and thinks he's.
God love him.
Oh God! Well, we'll be watching him probably get drafted, hopefully by the Bruins.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, that would be nice. Then I could be like, I knew
then
him.
You can buy mom and dad a very nice home right in the area. Still, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Get really good, buddy. Make mom and dad lots of money. That's what I tell Colin every day. You get good at something, buddy, so you can support mom and dad.
Yeah, I tried that with my kids. It didn't work. It didn't work. But anyway, Jeff, we appreciate it. Yeah, I got nothing.
Brain fart.
Brain fart.
Yep.
Which is typical. So
let's wrap it up.
we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you, Jeff Surratt, for joining us. The franchise, the legend, whatever you want to call him. When we do open back up, make sure you go to Jeff, give him a hug, and make sure you get his autograph before he starts charging.
Yeah. Maybe you can get a selfie with him. Those are $10 though. So.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll get a picture of him. I'll be selling that for $5. So don't worry. Yes, gotta make some money somehow. Other than that, guys, we appreciate it. Have a great week. And we'll be on, don't forget, we'll be on Friday mornings for everything other than Candlepin Bowling.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good time.
Thank you, guys.